Nobody's being delivered from anything. God ain't doing nothing for nobody right now. And gee, I wonder why. Because these folks are being lazy.
It's not about how I look. It's about the word. It's about what is being presented. Regardless to the vessel, who the vessel is or what the vessel look like, we should be interested in what can we do in order to change our condition as soul brothers and sisters in this nation who has a vicious beast on our back, and this beast living under this oppression has been on our back going on 500 years. Ain't y'all tired of it? Ain't y'all sick of it? So stop tripping about what people look like. You need to trip on what are they saying, what is being presented. Can it really help us solve this problem? As always, in the name of our ancestors, peace forever and always this morning to us. Thank you for coming to this ministry I call the Reality's Temple on Earth. I am your host, Angel Snub 7. I am your soul brother, number one. In recent times, and I have been involved in this also, unfortunately, there has been a back and forth about our identity as a people. There are those, of course, the ever popular "We Are African" group. We have been taught that in American school, and we have been taught that in Afrocentric, pro-black, black conscious teachings, or whatever you want to call it. Then there are those who are discovering that it's a possibility, and it is, that we are the native people on this land. And so there's great argument, there's great debate, and you can even see the hatred, the dislike, and if we were a nation, this could probably even cause civil war. Something is wrong with this going on with this feed. Oh man, there's always some technical difficulty. Well, I'm going to go ahead and continue to record. Who knows? This is, that's technology. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. So we're going back and forth with this, I'm an African. And somebody else said, we're Native American people. Okay, so now, I would tell you this, and the reality is, it don't make no difference. Right now, you claim to be African, and this other group said we are Native American, and you even have a group that said that we Caucasian. So, I mean, whatever. I'm going to tell you an identity that is really, really popular, just as popular as you are African, just as popular as you are Native American. In fact, the people that say they are African, the people that say they are Native American, both sides use this identity, and they make reference to us using this identity. Oh, pray tell, what is that identity that everybody seems to like? It's called nigger. It's called nigger. The people that say that we're Africans call us niggas. There are many of us who call ourselves Native Americans. They call us niggas. So apparently this identification of nigger must be the real identification. In fact, the reality is, it is. Because as long as you're under the control of another person, and that person labeled you and gave you your identity, then whether you like it or not, you are whatever they deem you to be. Now, of course, they're going to try to be nice. And when you fill out a job application, you can say black or African American or whatever. But the bottom line is, you are a nigger until you come up from out of the control of those who label you that way. So you can call yourself African all you want to, and you can call yourself Native American, or whatever beautiful name you will come up with, as long as you're under the control of those who label you. In fact, African and black and Negro and colored, those are labels that came from your oppressor. They did not come from you or any dark-skinned person. Those labels come from them, the same people that call you nigger. And on the Native American side, this oppressor called Native American people the red man, Indian, Negro, and they also called the Native American African. Y'all scholars, y'all know history, you should know this. But above all, what rises above all of it is the word nigger. The word nigger has been used for centuries, even to the point you call yourself that, and many of you do it with pride, talking about, well, you know, nigger is really N-gger, which means I'm a king. You know where that word come from. It don't have nothing to do with a king, have nothing to do with nothing royal. It came from your oppressor. You want to try to justify calling yourself a nigger. And that's exactly what you are, because there's nothing royal about you. You're not carrying yourself in a royal manner. You carry yourself like a nigger. If you wasn't a nigger, when we are presented with this campaign to take control of a state, if you wasn't a nigger, you would jump on the soul train and do what you have to do in order to make it a reality and take control of the state. What is in the best interest of us, but our future generations. The creation of a sanctuary that we can go to and don't have to worry about people who view us as a nigger. Being a nigger is what is hindering our development as a people, because we think like a nigger. Nigger, or the prefix of the word, if I'm saying that correctly, nigger, or being the prefix of the word Ngarli, is nigger. Selfish. You selfish and arrogant. And that's why you are. That's the way you are. You don't want to join the campaign to take over a state because you didn't come up with the idea. You don't like Angel Snub Nub 7. You don't like Maurice Muhammad. Being selfish. You're not looking at what the benefits of the whole. You don't have to like me. You don't have to like Maurice Muhammad. What you have to like is your freedom. What you have to like is your liberation. Apparently you don't like that either. Because the reality is, you're not going to accomplish nothing. All these things that y'all have, if you're not unified with your brothers and sisters, you will not be successful. Well, I take that back. You will be successful just enough to put money in your pocket so that you can live comfortable with the damn cracker. That's all that you want. So you have all these brothers and sisters out here, and they are living comfortable in the cracker world, the peckerwood world, and that's good enough for them. Because that's what it's all about. Personal gain. You don't care nothing about us as a people. I do not care nothing about driving a fancy car. I do not care about living in a fancy house. I do not care about fancy clothes and all that dumb stuff. My concern and my care is with our liberation from an oppressor, because you deserve it. But being a nigger, the nigger must die. You are African, wannabe nigger. You are a Native American nigger. You are a European nigger, Irish nigger, whatever you want to call yourself. A Moorish nigger. A black Muslim nigger. Nigger is the reason why we can't get nothing together. Because you continue to be what your slave master made you to be. A non-thinking, selfish, arrogant, it's all about you, slave. And when it's all said and done, who is the beneficiary? The Caucasian people, your slave master. And you don't mind because you got some crumbs off your masa table. When you can take control of a state and get you a real slice of pie, because that's what you will be doing. But it's hard work for a nigga. This is a tremendous task. Too much like hard work. And you don't want to be bothered with other brothers and sisters, because you're a nigger. In order for us to be successful, die, nigga, die. You don't have to like me. Pretend to like me. There was an episode on the Andy Griffith show, and this couple couldn't get along. And what Andy Griffith wanted to do, maybe if they pretend to like each other, be nice, maybe they could get along. So every morning, the husband had to say, "Morning, dear," and the wife said, "Morning, honey," and they pretend to like each other. You don't have to like me. Why don't you pretend you like me? Why don't you pretend to like Maurice Muhammad? Why don't you pretend to like your brothers and sisters? Pretend. And maybe pretending can become a reality. That's what they do in religion. In Islam, you pray and you go through the salats and all these motions because you're pretending to be holy and righteous, and you know you're not. But maybe if you go through the motions like you holy and righteous, maybe some of that might rub off on you. That's what it's all about. Just pretend. Do this for the sake of your grandchildren. Do this for the sake of your future generations. Not just for yourself. Do this for the sake of our babies. Our people, period. And you know, once you pretend to like Angel Snap Nub 7, once you pretend to like Maurice Muhammad, maybe once you pretend to really love your people, because right now we know that you really don't. You don't love your people. You're liars. Whole bunch of liars. You really don't love your people, because if you did, you would be reaching out to me. You'd be reaching out to Brother Maurice and Brother Eric and Sister Noble and all of us. We'd be reaching out to one another if you really love, so that we can kill this nigga, die nigga die, so we can build, brother, build, and make a reality all these things that we talk about. This campaign to take control of a state opens up all doors to possibilities you can't even imagine. All right, let me say what I need to say within this 15-minute block. Now, all of us have vision. Some of us do. We are blessed, as they say in religion. There are many who are blind, legally blind. They don't see very well. Thus, they are handicapped. However, no matter what your sight is physically, we can all look at a certain scene, and all of us will see different things. Our vision is different. There are many of you who are looking at this video, and as you look at the video and the background and whatever, we all may see and notice different things. Some of us pay attention to detail. Some of us just see what we see. And that's the key in solving a crime. That's the key in wanting to know something, is the ability to see and pay attention to detail. The problem with a slave, since we are the descendants of slaves, is that a slave has no need for a vision, because the only vision that the slave will have is that which his or her master gives them to see. So we take whatever those who enslaved us, whatever they gave us, there was little question, and we took it on face value, and we see through the eyes of somebody else. So a slave, knowing only slavery, cannot vision what freedom really was or is. The slave cannot do that because it's something outside of their vision to comprehend. Now, I'm saying this because I want to describe the best that I can this vision that I see for taking control of a state. Some of us may think that it's just simply taking control of a state, trying to better our predicament here in the United Snakes of America. That's some of it. That's some of the vision. Some of us may think it's simply an attempt to create a sanctuary for us. That's true also. However, I want you to be able to comprehend, and I want to try to help us see my vision. What I think, what I see in this whole scenario of taking control of a state. Because see, if we did not have slave minds, if we did not have that in our background, perhaps you could see what a free mind can see. Wow. Do you know what the word new is? I heard my brother Maurice Muhammad say, come and join and participate in the creation of a new reality for us. We have the adjective new. When you are looking for a car, there are new cars, there are pre-owned cars, and used cars. A used car has many owners. It has been driven a lot. We know what a used car is. A pre-owned car also had an owner or owners. Pre-owned. But when you're talking about something new, it only belongs to you. The only owner is you. Now, the new car is made out of recycled materials. The materials clearly are not new. The materials of this earth is as old as the earth itself. There's nothing new, as they say, under the sun. But as far as we're concerned, this car that we built, the only person, the first person on the title is you. That's what makes it a new car, regardless if it was made with a recycled materials. Now you can buy a pre-owned and used car, and as far as you're concerned, it's new to you. But that's not what we're talking about. We want to talk about something that is absolutely new. The Honorable Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. spoken of a promised land. He's talking about something that is new for us, something nobody else had. A promised land given to the so-called Negro in America. Taking it one step further, I say that is the beginning and the process of the creation of heaven on earth. The God in your scriptures talks about creating a new heaven. And the former things shall pass away. Behold, I make all things new. So, this promised land, or the beginning of a process to create a heaven on earth, requires that everything be made new. And the so-called Negro of America is a new people, made out of recycled materials that was already here. The Native American was already here, the African, the people from the islands and Europeans, whatever make up our DNA, was already here. But we are a new people. So it makes common sense that this new people should lead the way to that which is new. I'm going to create a new heaven and a new earth. The so-called Negro, the black American, is a new people. So it just makes sense that we should be the one to lead the way to that which is new. And we deserve something new after the suffering of over 400 years going on 500 years. We deserve to be the first one to enter the kingdom of heaven. This also will make prophecy fulfilled. For in your scriptures it talks about the meek shall inherit the earth that God wants to make new. There is nobody more meek than a slave, because everything has been taken away from us. We've been the lowest of the low. There's nobody more humble than a slave. Thus, the fulfillment of a prophecy, the meek shall inherit the earth. Not on the earth, but lead the way to this kingdom of heaven that God wants to make new. And the former things shall pass away. However, this kingdom on earth cannot exist unless the former things pass away. And this is our problem. This is our problem. It goes back to another story in your Bible speaking about the prophet Lot and his family. The God gave prophet Lot and his family instructions. I am going to destroy this city, Sodom and Gomorrah. And I want y'all to get out. And when you leave, I don't want you to look back. So, of course, the prophet Lot and his family began to pack their belongings and get out of that city. However, as they began to leave these cities of Sodom and Gomorrah, Lot's wife, for some reason, she had to take a little glimpse, just a little peek, one last look at Sodom and Gomorrah, and according to the scriptures, she was turned into a pillar of salt. Of course, as you know, I doubt if anybody would be or can be turned into a pillar of salt. But this is to tell us the reason why this heaven cannot come into existence is because this promised land or even you do not want to seek to take control of a state, is because there is something in this world that you love, just like Lot's wife. You love the beer, you love the alcohol, you love the drugs, you love the loose women, you love the cars. There's something about this racist society, there's something about this nasty, filthy world. Even though you complain, even though you know it's not right, you don't want to give it up. It might be your religion. Behold, I make all things new, and the former things shall pass away. Everything must go. You're not taking nothing with you into a new house. My first teacher, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, said, and it's on video somewhere here on YouTube, he said, even according to his teachings, that the Islam that you know will not enter the hereafter. So all y'all religions, Judaism, Islam, whatever form it is, and Christianity, all this ain't going into the kingdom of heaven because it's not needed. That's for those who are trying to be righteous. The kingdom of heaven is for those who are righteous. They don't need a Bible. Listen, when you enter the promised land, when you enter the kingdom of heaven, when things are new and things become right and the people are righteous, you don't need a holy book no more. You don't need the teachings because you have become what the book wants you to become. It's nice to have those books, I guess, for reference, but the scriptures say, behold, I make all things new, and the former things shall pass away. So all of it must go. And that's something you don't like. There are those who want to take you back 5,000 years to Egypt. They want to go backwards. They want to hold on to something that's here, when your next step in your development is something new. That is why many of you can't comprehend my vision. That's why many of you cannot comprehend what I bring forth to us, because it's new, for a new time and a new day, for a new people, a new way of thinking, because you don't need those things no more. You don't need a crutch when you can walk. You need to allow it to pass away. You don't need glasses when you can see. You don't need a hearing aid when you can hear. This is what the vision I see in Mississippi, the beginning process of the kingdom of heaven on earth. Not just the making the betterment of life for brothers and sisters of soul, descendants of slaves born in America, but the beginning process and step of the transformation of humanity from an evil, wicked life form to that which is righteous, that which is good, that which is angelic, heaven on earth. But as long as you have some type of love for this mess that we live in, something about it that you like, it's not going to happen, because dirty shoes should not be allowed on a clean floor. And contrary to popular belief, there are some soul brothers, number 2, 3, and so forth. And if you really understood what that means, you would be very, very proud to call yourself a soul brother and sister, rather than some of these other names that we try to force ourselves. We try to be something that we're not. But that's another topic, and I will talk about that probably in a live stream, maybe this weekend, perhaps. Like Wendy Williams said, how you doing? early this morning, I want to talk to our brothers, of course the sisters. Y'all welcome to join the conversation, but I want to talk to the brothers because I am told that the man or the male, the brothers, we are supposed to be the protectors. We're supposed to be the protectors. Now, according to our history, being in America, we have been living in America going on 500 years. And according to that history, we have done a very, very poor job of protecting. We have done a very poor job of protecting, yet and still, we are expecting from our women and our children to get some kind of praise, some type of honor, some type of respect, as though we are doing our job in a competent manner. But going on 500 years, and brothers, the so-called black conscious community, Afrocentric community, the black power community, the men love to do a whole lot of talking. The men always want to tell you and try to impress you with their scholarship. But if you notice, they never brag about their bravery. I'm going to say that again. They never brag about their bravery. They might talk about Nat Turner, Denmark Vesey, and those long gone who did something heroic. But there is very little notches under our belt to show that we are protectors. You have a very minute group of us, like those in the 1960s Black Panther Party and some other brothers back in those days or whatever. You have a very minute group of us that are willing to stand up and even die in our behalf. But the general report card of the protector of our women and children in this nation, the brothers, the male, we are and have shown to be very poor excuses for manhood. So, there's a reason for this. And I know the brothers will say, that's not true, that's not true. Actions speak louder than words. The reality is, and the truth of the matter is, black men, soul brothers, African men, black Muslim men, whatever you want to call them, Moorish men, Kemetic men, whatever you want to call yourself, it makes no difference. The reality is, you are scared of the white man. You are scared of this Caucasian guy. That's the reality of it. Come on, look. Let's be honest. Let's be truthful. You can make it all you want to. Actions speak louder than words. The brothers that was not scared, they are no longer here. They are in some graveyard somewhere. And that's a place you don't want to go. You are afraid of suffering. You do not want to sacrifice, and you damn sure don't want to die. You are afraid of this Caucasian man because he can put all that on you, and you don't want nothing to do with it. You are scared. You are scared and afraid that you cannot beat this guy. That's why it's easy for you to jump on another Negro, because you think that you got a chance that you can kill or hurt another Negro. But when it comes to these Caucasian people or any other enemy of us, you won't do nothing, you won't do a damn thing, except make a YouTube video talking about what you're going to do, but you know, you and I both know, you ain't going to bust a grape. But let me say this to us. There is nothing wrong with being scared. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being afraid. That's a natural instinct. There's nothing wrong with that, brother. If you are afraid, just admit, I'm scared. We're going to lose. I don't mind fighting. I don't mind dying, man, but I don't want to lose the fight. Well, this is the thing about getting into a fight. You don't know till you try. Now, if in your mind you're going to lose, chances are you will lose, but you really don't know. You really don't know until you try. We are so scared and petrified of this Caucasian man, we don't even want to try. We already know we gonna lose. And that's your problem. Yeah, I know the Caucasian man, he got nuclear weapons, he got AK-47s, he got all these weapons of mass destruction. I know. But everybody can be beat. There's nobody that cannot suffer a defeat. Nobody. Do you know what a diamond is? A diamond is one of the hardest substances on this planet. A diamond. But if you notice, they can still take a diamond and cut it up and shine it and do whatever the hell they want with a diamond. But a diamond is tough. Everything has a weak point. Everything has what they call an Achilles heel. Everything has that weak spot. When you break a board, those of you who have taken martial arts, you know that it is not just brute strength that breaks the board. But you want to hit the board and hit it in the weak spot in the wood, usually along the grain. And when you hit it like that, it'll crack. It's much more difficult to break a board if you're breaking it with against the grain. I think I said that right. I used to break boards. Everything has an Achilles heel. Everything has a weakness. This is why in a lot of cases, when you're dealing with a strong personality, a strong man, they try to attack you trying to find your weakness. So your weakness, like some of y'all YouTube brothers out here, your weakness is money. It's all about money. It's all about feeding your ego. It's all about fame. And that's how they keep you in check. Because they give you some money. They knew what they was doing when they monetized YouTube. So now it's no longer really about the struggle. It's about how much money coming in. How famous, your celebrity. And you're not really interested in what is in the best interest of your people, the struggle. That's your weakness. Some of us have a weakness for women. So they will send a female agent your way. A woman that probably wouldn't have nothing to do with you, but all of a sudden she comes from out of nowhere, and she fine as I don't know what. And she breaks you down. There's all kinds of weakness. The white man, this pink racist devil, has weakness. He's not perfect. He has a weak point. He's very violent. You know that you cannot deal with this guy on a violent level because you and I both know, first of all, we're not in the position. That does not mean this boy, this cracker, this devil, this peckerwood, whatever you want to call him, don't mean he can't be brought down. And he can be brought down in a simple manner, easier than you think. You think that you need tanks, and you think that you need airplanes, and you think you need all these things to deal with this guy, and that's not necessarily so. Because a woman is not an airplane. She's not a tank. Money is not an airplane. That's a weapon. That's a weapon of mass destruction. A woman can be a weapon of mass destruction. Money can be a weapon of mass destruction. Anything that you can use against your opponent's weakness is a weapon of mass destruction, because the purpose is to destroy him or her. One of the first things that you must do is get over your fear. Get over your fear, and there's nothing wrong with being scared. That's why y'all concentrate on talking about women. That's why you concentrate on about building a business and building an African school and all this other stuff, except dealing with the real problem. How are you going to deal with the real problem? Because you don't want a real face-to-face confrontation with the peckerwood or this cracker. You don't want that because you are afraid, you are scared. You don't know how. But let me tell you, coming up from out of your womb are those who know what to do, know how to deal with the situation. The only thing you have to do is support them. If you are afraid and if you are scared, just support those who are willing to fight. If you're that scared, but you're so scary, you don't even want to support your freedom fighters. Our freedom fighters should not have to work the devil job. Our real freedom fighters shouldn't have to. Our freedom fighters should be able to deal and work for our liberation 24 hours a day. They should have our money. They should have our full support. When the devil come after them, we should hide them. We should protect them. Let them do their job. Sounds like a revolution to me. Sounds like rebellion to me. And we should support those willing to get the job done. This white man is not as bad as you think that he is. Everybody, anything has a weak spot. The only thing you have to do is be smart enough to understand what that weak spot is, and then get to tagging it. Then get to smashing on it. When you hit somebody in the chest, that's not effective. But if you hit somebody in the middle of that chest, that will break them down, because that's a soft area. That's a weak spot. When you understand fighting, you attack the weak spots. You do not attack that which is strong. You find places on the body which will give, which is weak. Some of y'all are fighters. Some of y'all are martial artists. Y'all should know what I'm talking about. But if you're scared, just support the ones that's willing to fight. Wow, this thing turned live real quick. That took me off guard. It took me off guard. Let me set that up. Wow. Looks like I got my live feature back on here. Man, it's sort of dark. What the deal is with that? Well, that'll work. I don't know. It's just amazing. Things work on YouTube. They terminate your ability to and then all of a sudden it returns. Well, howdy there in YouTube land. How y'all doing? Hey, I don't know how this works. First I did by the telephone, but I did try to talk about this earlier, but I ran out of data space, and it would not. The video did not upload. I had to do it live, and it just so happened I saw that this feature was working, so we're gonna do it live. What up? What up, everybody? Okay, I'm not gonna spend a whole lot of time. I'm gonna do this real quick. As always, in the name of our ancestors, peace forever and always, and welcome to another edition of what I call the Realist on Earth Internet Ministry. Wow, I wish the light would come in on this thing, but I don't know. How come? Well, I do like this so I can get this light can shine a little bit. Oh, hey, what's up? What's up, King Amir? Yeah, man. I'm the mighty one, Angel Snub 7, and I am your soul brother number one. Wow, this whole live thing got me thrown off because I didn't know this channel could do that. Popular character, and they married her off and lived with her Jewish boyfriend, husband, and the producers later on in the series Little House on the Prairie, they replaced her with Nancy Olsen, an adopted child by the parents of Nellie Olsen. Now, there was great sympathy, and everybody felt sad for Nancy because Nancy, her background, she was an orphan, her mother didn't want her, and you know how it is. We have sympathy when people go through hardship. I lost my job, my wife divorced me, all kinds of stuff. My car, I had a flat. Whenever you go through some type of hardship, people have sympathy. Can I help you out, bro? So usually, a lot of times, when we show that we're going through hardship, you would gain the sympathy of people so they would help you or they would feel sorry for you. And sometimes that sympathy will allow you to get away with things you normally would not get away with. I want to tell you something, but you just lost your house. So I won't do that right now. I'll try to, I'll tell you what I want to tell you later on. So this character, Nancy Olsen, whenever she do dirty stuff, and she was known to be a conniver, doing dirty things to people, whatever, and when she get caught up, she always say, "Hate me." That's supposed to make people feel sorry because nobody wants to be associated with hate. Nobody wants to be associated with that. Not really, What am I bringing? Why am I bringing this to us? I'm bringing this to us for an example. Now look, as many of you know, I was a helper, not a follower of Minister Louis Farrakhan. And especially in the 80s, the Nation of Islam, Minister Farrakhan, we were known, and the propaganda was that we were anti-Semitic. Why were we anti-Semitic? Now, there are those who really do hate Jewish people. They would not mind putting Jewish people back into ovens and gas chambers, and there are people who will do that. They actually hate Jewish people. I have seen no signs. Minister Farrakhan, I've been around him, even in private moments, he never taught us to hate Jewish people or dislike Jewish people. There's nothing. Any message has arrived. There's nothing in the teachings. Oh, having problems on the live stream. Jewish people always talk about somebody being anti-Semitic, the Nation of Islam anti-Semitic. What Farrakhan is saying is a lie. It's a lie. We use anti-Semitic just like Nancy Olsen used, "You hate me, you hate me." We all know about the Holocaust. And so there is sympathy towards this group of people because of this tragedy that they went through. However, this group of people, just like any individual, have skeletons in their closet. They are not holy and righteous than thou, and you doing things that ain't right. Others expose what you're not doing right, but you hide behind the Holocaust. And then the first thing you say, because you don't want people to really look at you at what you really are, the first thing come out of their mouths is, you anti-Semitic, you anti-Semitic. You hate me, you hate me. Like Nancy Olson. It's a distraction tactic so that people don't really look at you for what you really do. So you are anti-Semitic if you question 6 million Jews died in the Holocaust. Where are you getting these numbers from? You're anti-Semitic. Because I'm asking you a question. Where are these numbers coming from? Now the reality is, the chances are the 6 million is not Jewish people. The 6 million is probably the whole total of those who were killed during what we call the Holocaust, or during not during World War II. I'm just saying, as far as that general area, it was Jewish people and other folks who were not Jewish. The totality was 6 million, but they are trying to say it was all nothing but people, and the mathematics don't add up. Because it was not a slaughterhouse where people were murdered 20 hours a day. That's not what happened. So the mathematics is not adding up. And when you ask questions, you're anti-Semitic because you're distracting and you're deflecting. You don't want people to really investigate what really happened because you're using sympathy. You're using sympathy to exploit people. That's what you're doing. And that's wrong. Like Nancy Olson. So if you don't like nothing I say, I can do the same thing. Oh, you just hate black people. Oh, you just an anti-angel snuffing up 7 Semitic person. Oh, all of us have skeletons in our closet. Ain't nobody that I know of is holier than that and righteous, but you have a group of people that want to take advantage of that tragedy and gain your sympathy so they can get more out of the deal than what they deserve. That what Farrakhan or anybody else talks about Jewish people, they never say that it's a lie. They just don't want you to talk about their skeletons in the closet because they're trying to paint themselves as this holier than thou type person. Now, it's the same thing with those who talk about people like me. We are anti-African. Adolf Hitler had scientists. Don't make no difference how many scholars. The story, something is fishy. It's not adding up. Nobody to investigate because you believe the story of the Holocaust. You believe the story of the transatlantic slave trade. And you get angry and upset with people who question that because you believe it. So I'm anti-African. I am anti-Semitic because something is funny. I'm asking questions. Anybody that asks questions or put this business on Front Street is anti-something. If you talk about America, warmongering and all these different, you are not patriotic, you are anti-American. Because these people don't want to accept their faults. They don't want to accept the reality of who and what they are. You anti-Jesus, you anti-Christian, you the antichrist because you don't believe in God and Jesus. Anti what? I don't mind being anti, but I'm pro-truth. That's what I'm interested in. I'm pro-truth. I'm pro-reality. That's what I'm about. I'm not interested in your feelings and what you believe in. Because many of you believe it in falsehood, you believe it in truth mixed with you believe it in a lie. That's not what I'm about. I'm pro-truth. I'm pro-reality. Y'all like to live in your delusions. Well, that's your business. That's your business if you want to live in delusions. I have no problem with that. So I don't mind being anti-whatever. As long as I am pro-truth, pro-reality, I'm just fine. And if you challenge on it, you're always going to lose because you're not holy and righteous. You're hiding something. Something ain't fishy. You're not using common sense, reason, and logic. It's just not adding up. And I don't care how angry and upset, no matter how anti, whatever you call people, that's not going to change the something smells fishy. It's not adding up. So with that said, that's all I want to say on that topic. And I'm getting out of here with my anti-self. And y'all have a nice day. A very nice anti-day, I guess, because I don't like the day. I prefer night, so I'm anti. I'm silly. I've never been around so much silly people. Anyway, I'm Audie 5000. Thank you for joining me for this live, and maybe we can do this some more. Peace. Now, how you turn this off? How you turn this off? I do not know. I do not know how to. Yes.
You know, I was thinking about some things and how people get up and go to church week after week, Sunday after Sunday, Friday night after Friday night, Wednesday after Wednesday night, or Tuesday night, whatever day you go to church, and how nobody's being healed. Nobody's being delivered. Folks are leaving the church in the same conditions in which they came.
That's right.
They living from paycheck to paycheck. Their bodies aren't being healed of cancer, diabetes, stroke, heart disease, all these different diseases. And you know, there's nobody being healed of anything. You know, these churches claim to have all these powerful prophets, all these powerful men and women of God, but yet and still, nobody's lives are being changed. We're still under the system of racism and white supremacy. We're still getting our asses kicked under the system of racism and white supremacy. And, you know, these white preachers are standing in the pulpit, and black preachers too, giving you all this false hope and dreams and telling you what God is going to do. Well, you know, I don't see no power going forth in our communities. And there's a lot of churches on every corner in our communities. But yet and still, there is so much crime in our communities each and every day. Nobody's being delivered from anything. God ain't doing nothing for nobody right now. And gee, I wonder why. Because these folks are being fake and phony. Maybe in these churches. They keep lying to folks, making folks believe. But when is the miracles going to go forth? When are the healings going to happen? Folks living from paycheck to paycheck can't hardly pay their bills. But I'm supposed to keep going to church every week and believing in something, and I'm supposed to believe you when you tell folks God is a healer, but I don't see y'all healing nobody. I don't see nobody being healed from any diseases, any sicknesses. Just a thought.